By the way, Mr. Prime Minister, can you introduce me to Terence and Philip? I know that they are big stars in Canada, but it's very strange. I couldn't find them in the social networks. Maybe you can help. I know that there are I don't know, national leaders.
I'll ask my team to try and figure out how we can connect you. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do that, because I don't have their direct coordinates with me now. But we can follow up on that.
Oh, that's nice. So you can introduce me to Terence and Philip? It would be possible?
Wait, Terence and Philip, were they not in South Park?
I don't know. I just know that there are two guys that is very, very popular guys in Canada. I know that everybody loves them. Do you know them?
Well, I appreciate your request. I don't personally know them. I believe they are South Park parodies of Canadians.
Yes, that is actually the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, thinking that he is speaking to Greta Thunberg, but actually speaking to two Russian pranksters. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org, and I have to say that clip definitely brought me back to an old time when the internet was still wild, interesting, a strange place of thought and expression, and not the wiped-down corporate, squeegee-cleaned Disney World nonsense that it is right now. But we still have at least these moments that we should still cherish while they are still here. Now, in today's video, if we have time, we're going to give you the latest information surrounding the election, but predominantly we are going to be focusing on the quote new normal and excessive abuse of powers that we're seeing delved out all throughout the world, specifically when it comes to business closures. And before we do that, plus a lot more, I wanted to remind everyone where we stand as an independent news organization, because we want to make people understand that your faith and your destiny is in essentially your hands. It's not in a government's hand. It's not in a corporation's hand. It's not in your favorite celebritard or sports tard's hand. Your life, your faith, your destiny is decided by you, and that's the way it should be. If you think a bureaucratic government that can't run the post office efficiently, nor the DMV, or even figure out how to send everyone a check, if you think that they have your best interest at heart and you rely on them for your personal and well-being, well, you're going to have a bad freaking time. And I think the more people that realize that they have to be responsible for themselves, the better we will be off as humanity. But these messages of personal responsibility and you yourself deciding how seriously you want to take a particular threat, well, those messages are getting obfuscated, downranked in the algorithm, and sometimes just straight up censored and deleted from big tech social media. All the while, individuals like this douche flute in the middle here are promoted. They're on everyone's timeline, everyone's feed, everyone's notifications, as of course he makes videos with Dr. Fauci telling you the importance of social distancing, of taking this threat extremely seriously, doing everything we can at all costs to prevent people from gathering in large numbers without masks. Of course, reading the establishment script like he's told to do, and now he's seen partying with a bunch of young ladies with their bazongas out. You know, when you're telling people what to do and you're not doing it yourself, you kind of look like an a-hole. And that's definitely putting it lightly. But let's not focus on this douche flute here, because what ultimately matters is what's happening with big tech social media algorithms that is literally elevating him while, of course, suspending, downranking, demonetizing, and sometimes even deleting individuals who dare question some of this logic that these people push on you. As we recently saw, as YouTube decided to suspend one of Donald Trump's favorite news network, OANN, over a quote unlisted video. Yes, Now, there's a lot of things you could criticize the One American News Network on, sure, but that's not the topic here. To prevent them from posting content for a week, to entirely demonetize their channel over an alleged unlisted video is absolutely insane and hypocritical. And I don't care what you say, people have a right to discern what they hear and make up their own minds and decisions. To block out one specific message while allowing another hypocritical one is bad for you, for society, and for civilization, because these big tech monoliths have extreme amount of power, and them taking down information for, quote, public safety is absolutely nonsensical when you look at the backdrop of the official messaging flip-flopping and changing so drastically. Ever since March, we have seen conflicting messages. Don't wear masks. Wear masks is one perfect example. And how can you stick to any kind of narrative when, of course, it keeps flipping and YouTube or Amazon or whatever big tech monolith censors you for not following the narrative that keeps changing and flipping all the time? And again, we even see this not just with alternative media, but also with New York Times reporters that had their books taken down because they raised some questions about the prevailing knowledge regarding the Conholio sickness. Again, we have a right to think, we have a right to question, and to figure out the truth ourselves. We don't need daddy big tech to think that they know what is better for us, because essentially, at the end of the day, it's not what's better for us or humanity or civilization or a specific group of citizens in a country. It's what's best for the stockholders and special interests that are invested in big tech. And that's the truth, and that's something we should, of course, worry about, especially with more demonetizations and more censorship efforts coming, which might even put Donald Trump in the crosshairs of losing his verification status on Twitter. So yeah, as all of that happens, and this very channel is affected by this, we have to start to work with companies that we like and we personally trust that keep this operation up and running. So here's the ad for the day, and it is for ProPure USA. They have great water filters. I use them myself. I am not a fan of microplastics and fluoride. My own personal choice, my own personal decision. They are running a special holiday sale right now. To me, this is the logical thing to do, rather than, of course, buying estrogen-mimicking plastic little containers at Costco, or supporting the big water cartels out there, or having to go to the store. Why not just get yourself a water filter? That saves you a lot of time and stress. Check out our specific affiliate link down below, since of course this will also help sustain this independent media operation. Also, if you're signed up on our email list, we are doing a special first come first serve on our email list with a major sale to our merchandise store. So if you're signed up on the email list, make sure to check your spam box or your promotions box to check for our email coming later today with special offers just for you. Now, I think it's safe to say that something extremely perplexing is happening, especially in China, that is absolutely not dealing with any of the specific ramifications when it comes to the Conholio sickness. If you look at the actual statistics, the numbers, the cases, the deaths, they are flatlined in China and they are not going up. Why is this when the rest of the world is allegedly going through record numbers? This picture right now that you're seeing on screen is the line in New York City to get tested at a local city MD. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think it's a good idea to have people who are going through one of the, quote, allegedly major serious illnesses that's debilitating, to have them wait in line for hours in order to get tested. Jumbled, of course, close to each other. And we have to admit, there's a surge of a large number of individuals that want to get tested, that have the ability to wait and stand outside in the cold for hours. And as a large number of people demand to be tested, politicians are taking the matter into their own hands by literally interpreting science, and in some instances deciding to play God over human life. Now that of course is an exaggeration, but what else can you kind of come up with when you're finding out that a lot of the policy decisions that politicians are making are not backed by the science or any kind of prevailing logic or information, as we've seen recently in Los Angeles, where the Department of Public Health admits that there's actually no scientific link between outdoor dining, connected, of course, to a spike in numbers. But yet, outdoor dining was just made illegal. Now, restaurants won't be able to have any patrons anywhere, inside or outside, which absolutely devastates and destroys their businesses and also many jobs of individuals that are now going to be unemployed because of a decision that's not even backed by the science. In Canada, this is already happening in more egregious ways where businesses are targeted. And before we give you a specific example of that, it is important to note here, by the official Canadian numbers, that there have only been 166 deaths related from the conholio sickness that were outside of nursing homes. Yes, only, according to the official data and numbers that we're getting, 166 people died in Canada from the conholio sickness that were not in nursing homes. But yet, businesses are being closed, futures are being destroyed, small and medium-sized businesses are being gutted, damaged, and destroyed, where they most likely will never come back from. All of this as suicides are going up, along with the poverty rate, with specific pain caused by the government that many people will feel for generations to come. Some private business owners are deciding not to listen to some of these government's decrees, like in Canada, where we saw a business, Adams BBQ, decides to still be open despite the Toronto Medical Officer of Health closing them down because of the new lockdowns. Police officers intervened and even warned patrons. Individuals who decided to support or buy anything from that business could face arrest because of their actions. And as, of course, government officials are asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines for people who are deciding to keep their businesses open, like Adamson's BBQ. A fellow reporter, Leah Stu, actually got an interview with him, and this is what Adam Sully of Adamson's BBQ had to say.
Appreciate it. Yeah, to anybody else who's in a similar position, when you're at the end of your rope, when you're about to lose it all, if you want to stand up for your freedoms and your rights, you can reach out to me directly. We've had an absolutely overwhelming amount of support today. These people will come and support anybody who's also fighting for their freedoms and for their businesses and for their livelihoods. Just reach out to me and I'll help put you in touch with the right people. That's it. This isn't about me. This is about everybody. This is about our human rights.
Now, of course, Adams is not the only one making a stand, as we recently saw in upstate New York, where a business owner who was fined $15,000 for not obeying the government's decrees decided live on Fox News to take this ticket, this summons, and rip it live on air.
I plan to take it as far as I possibly can. I want to ask Governor Cuomo and polling cars, I want to ask them, it's a challenge to them. Come to my dinner table. Come to any of the dinner tables back here. Look our kids in the eyes and say, your father, your mother is an essential worker. They don't have the guts to do that. They also don't have the guts to answer why they get to draw a $225,000 salary for Governor Cuomo, and for polling cars, a $103,000 salary, but the working man and woman doesn't get to earn. They get to take our money, but we don't get to earn. They don't have the guts to tell us that. That's the worst kind of leadership.
Your story is getting a lot of attention. We thank you for your service, and we'll continue to watch where this story goes. Thanks for joining us tonight.
A very powerful moment, and of course, people need to be reminded here that when a government fines and tickets businesses, like the $100,000 fine that they're trying to give to Adam, or the $15,000 fine for the upstate New York business, that these are penalties and punishments that only affect the middle and lower class. The super rich, a lot of them don't have to abide by a lot of the restrictions. But when you impose fines, tickets for average day human life, you are essentially just punishing poor people. And you're making them a lot poorer, which is something the government has been doing. And they're going to be doing a lot more of that, especially in Democratic-heavy cities, where some politicians were warning about tyranny from U.S. President Donald Trump, as literally they are setting up lockdowns, quarantines that essentially mimic in many ways just martial law, as we're seeing in New York City with now checkpoints at bridges, crossings, and bus stations questioning travelers that are coming into the state. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's another just utter lack of resources, total misplacement of them when already so many people are suffering and will continue to suffer because of the poor decisions by government officials. The jobless numbers are going to go up, and they're going to continue to go up as only Walmart, Amazon, big tech, the big bankster hedge funds are getting the full and utter support of the government. Meanwhile, everyone else is getting shut down. The Federal Reserve is literally doling out insane amounts of money to the big banks. Amazon, Walmart, open no matter what. But you? No. You're not a part of the special privileged elite class. You have to suffer in pain because of some government officials' horrible decisions that don't affect him or his friends. Now again, it's absolutely ridiculous what's happening, and that doesn't mean to undermine everything else that's happening, as of course we've been telling you. Take the situation seriously. Take your own health into your own hands and decide for yourself what risks you want to take and don't want to take depending on your particular situation. There's nothing crazy about that kind of messaging of individuals being told to be responsible for themselves. That's what we've been saying from the very beginning of this entire crazy mess of a situation. And I think if we really understood that and then made steps to be that, I think we would be a lot better off. But yet, still, this kind of messaging is just shunned away, just ignored, and many people are prevented from seeing it because of the steps that some big tech media companies are making. And that's absolutely ridiculous. And if you agree with that, share this video with your friends and family members, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, whoever it may be, whoever you know. The time is right now for you guys to get active and to get involved, even if it's not this video, even if it's an article or a meme. Get it out there, be a part of the discussion. Your voice matters more than ever. And because of that, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.